Well, hey folks, how's it going today? I hope everyone's doing really good. I hope everyone had a nice holiday and a happy new year as well. Today we're going to take a look at this Martin acoustic. This is a D15m. This one belongs to my father. All mahogany, satin finish, no binding, and a very simple rosette too. It's really just a simplified model. But it sounds really nice and plays well too, and I really like an all mahogany acoustic. They have a certain sound to them, so it resonates quite well. Out of tune. I just took it out of the case here, but it's got a really nice rich sound to it, both in front of the guitar and playing it as well. So anyway, he was complaining of some string buzz, and I stopped by the other day and I was just kind of checking it over real quick. The action's really low on this guitar too. It plays really easy, but we was getting some buzzing on the B string and the E string down here in the first positions. You can kind of hear that lisping a little. It's starting to clean up. So let's check the E. That's almost fretting out right there. Not really cleaning up much, still buzzing up there. So what we're going to do is check the neck relief on it real quick, and we'll also get the fret rocker out, and I'm going to measure these frets too. These are really small frets in this guitar, you know, right from the factory. So, and he plays this every single day, and he has since he's owned it. So it is starting to show some wear. So I think we're going to check that out first. I want to make sure there's no back bow here. And the reason I want to check that is because that B string did kind of get better as we went up halfway on the neck here. It seemed to get a little cleaner as we went up. Not the E string so much, but so we want to check that out. And that's a good place to start. Make sure it has some relief in it. And try it again, you know, if you have to make adjustments, and we'll kind of go from there. I'm going to measure the frets and check it with a fret rocker too. So let's get to it. Okay, let's take a quick peek at it. We got it on the bench here. Nice looking mahogany. As I said before, it's an all mahogany guitar, back and sides, and no binding, like I said. It's just a really simplified model, but it does what it's supposed to, and it sounds and plays really nice, like I said. A little shot of the headstock here. Okay, folks, so I've just decided to condense this video right down here. What you just saw was me playing this guitar yesterday, and I kind of messed around with it here and there throughout the day, just seeing if I could figure out what was going on. And I'm just going to cut right to the chase here. I'll talk a little bit about some other little procedures I went through to, you know, check for things. But at the end of the day, what's happening is this. With the neck straight, I was checking the frets with my fret rocker. And I could get them to, I could feel them rock like that. You can hear it jangling, right? Now, if I push down on the fret rocker, it goes away. So what does that tell me? Well, it tells me the fret's loose. So, like I said, this is my dad's guitar. He actually stopped out this morning and we was taking a look at it. And I was showing him that. And, you know, the next thing was this. You know, glue them in. Run some CA glue down along each one, put them in a fret press, and, you know, go through that whole procedure, which is painstaking and not a lot of fun, but you know, it's part of the process. And that would be one way to approach this, and you know, get them hooked down and then perform your leveling and crowning after that. Because you can't do it now. If you file a fret down like that that's high and it's loose, it'll pop right back up. It may even lift up higher after you file it because you're rattling it around with a file if it's not glued in. So let's take a look at these frets that we decided to pull out here just a little while ago and take a peek. Okay, so if you take a look at the first fret slot here, you can see evidence of barbs going down in there, right? Now, if you look at the second one, not quite as much. The third one, there's a few. Now, if you take this wire and flip it around, I'm just going to try to zoom in here on the tang. You can see marks where there were barbs, right? Or evidence of it. If you run your thumbnail down across there, you can barely even feel them. It's almost like they were stripped off the tang. No glue residue either, so they were not glued in. And you can see that they didn't cut the slot out through the end of the fretboard here. It's about an 1/8 inch, you know, from the end of the fret slot to the edge of the fretboard. So they nipped the tang out here to accommodate for it, okay? And, you know, it's done okay. But if you didn't glue these in, you know, those, you know, they can be rolled up anyway from when you clip them off. And they'll actually bounce up and down. And that's what's happening. You know, they're just loose. And there's no glue and not really any barbs to speak of to hold them in there. You might as well just, you know, press a finish nail in there, and I don't know what's going on here. Now, I'm not trying to diss Martin or say anything bad about them. I'm just showing you guys what I'm dealing with. That's it, nothing more. I have run into this one other time. It was on an early, I think it was like a 1970 Gibson guitar that I refretted for a guy, and it had the old 0 fret frets in it. It was hard to even get them out, honestly. But you know, you got to remember, if you're pushing down on the string, the fret wire in front of you is also going to go down. I can push them down and feel them move with my finger. So as that goes down, it's going to, you know, flatten across the next one and probably give you a buzz. And you'll just chase it all the way down the neck if they're loose. And there was a bunch up here that were pretty loose too and uneven. So, you know, that's the thing. You could either press them down, glue them in, and work from there. But we measured the fret height. It's not really that tall. There was some pretty pronounced string grooves in the first, you know, 7 or 8 frets there. Some of the frets are around 30 thousandths. So, you know, with an 8 or 10 thousandths groove, you're down in the 20s here. And, you know, it played okay. The action was really low, but I did feel that low fret sensation like the early 70s Gibsons, like I said. They'll actually play harder with lower frets. So we're going to refret this one. I am going to glue them in. I'm gonna nip the tangs out and do the same procedure they did. Instead of cutting the slots all the way through the fretboard, I don't have a problem with that as long as I glue them. And I glue all my frets in. I usually use fish glue, and that's just kind of a security blanket for me. You know, all the refrets that I do, I guarantee them. And if you have any issues, you know, just bring it back. So I haven't had any yet, knock on wood. And, you know, if you're going to take care of the guitar, that's one of the factors, you know, involved. But this has been well taken care of, and these are factory frets. So we're going to glue the next set in, and then I don't have to worry about anything lifting. So if I get a buzz after that, I can at least rule that out, that the frets are kind of bouncing in the slot. So again, I wanted to just kind of simplify this video. You know, I even tried shimming the saddle. I tried shimming one of the nut slots with a piece of paper just to see if I could make that buzz go away. I also reached inside the guitar and felt under the bridge pad. Now this happened to me once on a Gibson, an old LGO. There was a sliver of wood kind of hanging down off the bridge pad. It was, you know, in pretty rough shape, and it kind of curled up and it was riding up under the top, and that sounded like a string buzz or some loose brace or something. And it took me a while to figure it out, but finally I felt up in there and pulled that little piece of sliver out of there, and that took care of it. So I did check that as well, and that seemed to be okay. But that is something to look at in an old guitar that's had a lot of string changes, because that can haunt you. So anyways, I will do a video on the refret for you guys. I probably won't do one on removing the frets. You guys know how that works. If not, you can check out some of my other videos and my playlists. So that's it for today. I'm going to have to order some fret wire for it, and we'll be on to the next project. Okie doke, we'll see you guys real soon. Be good.